Hi, everybody. So my name is Rachel Martin again. I'm going to talk a little bit about Yext and the product, and then hand it over to Luis, who's going to talk a little bit more about the evolution of our partner program and some of our opportunities abroad. So with that, I will start by kind of stating the obvious for everybody here, which is that it's really important that businesses be found online. We know that consumers are searching digitally now to find businesses, not only to choose which business to go to, but maybe find more information about a business that they've already chosen, searching on desktop, mobile, tablet, navigation devices. But we also know that a lot of the transactions are still actually happening offline, which is connecting the online and offline world and making it really important that businesses be listed online and have a digital presence, even if their focus is on in-store transactions. I think that when we talk about presence management, there's really two big pieces of that. The first is the business's owned and operated website, and as an extension of that, maybe a mobile application or even advertisement. But then on the other hand, you have the directory listings. And with the first, the business is in control over the content of their website, whereas with the second, they're not as much in control. And that's just because of the evolution of the space alongside the internet. There's a lot of data sources out there. There's a lot of directories, a lot of other mobile apps. There's algorithms on each one of these directories that's figuring out what data to show a consumer when they search. And it makes it actually difficult for the business to come in and actually control their presence on all of these directory sites. So Yext set out with a mission a couple years ago to help get perfect location information into every hand. And what that means is really, the goal is to put businesses back in control of that second half and to let them actually update and control their storefront on all of these different directory sites. Even if a business is already listed, we want to make sure that that business can actually control the content that lets consumers not only find them, but also choose them. So when I think about the Yext product, it's really a very robust content management platform with a few different outlets into the ecosystem. So the first outlet and kind of our flagship product is Power Listings, and that's what gets you actually listed on all of those directories and mobile apps. The second is, it's really actually an extension of the website, the owned and operated website, which has to do with local landing pages for enterprise clients. So it's not really the website itself, but it's about powering that store locator within a website for very locally relevant information versus more brand information. And then the last is a very new product that we just launched a couple weeks ago, which leverages beacon technology to help engage with mobile customers, both in-store, but then also after they've left. So today we're going to focus really on the location management platform and the Power Listings product and network. I will say that I know that there's been some interest in the Zone product. I've had a few questions already. It is very exciting. We did launch it, though, I think 3 weeks ago, and just in the US, so it's very, very new. And I think with just iterating on the product, just within the US, but also with privacy laws, it's going to be a little time before we expand internationally. But if anybody is interested or wants to hear more about what we're working on, I'd be happy to share. So moving on to the location management platform. When I think about this piece of our product, there's really two very important items to talk about. And the first is the content, and this is really where we're collecting all of the content from the businesses. So what content do we collect, but then also the usability of it. How easy is it for businesses and also providers to use? Fortunately, it's kind of hard to see the screenshot, and nothing really replaces a live demo. But what you're looking at is actually the edit screen for a single location business. This is a retail store, a single location for it. And you can kind of see some of the fields that we collect, all the usual suspects: photos, description, hours, video, that sort of stuff. But there are a number of other fields that we've actually added into the platform because we've seen that they've been really useful over the past couple of years. So I can call a few of those out as well. One is the suppress address. There's service-based business out there that definitely want to be relevant in a consumer search, but they don't want their home address to be listed online everywhere. So with the click of a button, you can actually suppress your address but still be relevant in those searches. Tracked numbers, supporting tracked numbers in a very SEO responsible way, which is really collecting the local number, using that to match with all of the directory listings, but then overpowering that with tracked numbers, which for some providers is really important. We collect menus, product lists, biographies, which is really important for lawyers and doctors, calendars, all of that sort of enhanced content as well. Now the second piece of this, which is the usability, again, you're looking at a single location edit screen, but really the power of the platform is being able to edit thousands of locations all at once in this platform. And I will say that actually before our Power Listings product was ready internationally, we did have enterprise customers that were using our software just for this location manager. So, for example, Apple Retail is a client, and again, before we can power their international locations, we powered their United States locations, but then all of their international location information was stored in our content management system, just so that all of the various teams, the marketing team, legal team, executive team, operations team, all had one source of truth for what the name, address, phone number, and categories were for all of these locations, as well as any locally relevant information. So in addition to being able to bulk import, export, edit, folder, label, all of the things you would expect, we do, sorry, I forgot where I was going with that. Well, in any case, we do also have a bunch of white labeling tools for partners. So, and I think that's probably more relevant to this group. What we found is that while all of this is available through API, many times partners want to get going right away. So quite literally with the click of a button, we can change the branding of this dashboard so that everything from the terms and conditions link, the help links, the logos, the colors. I'm not even showing it here, but we have an entirely separate sales tool. The URLs, everything can be white labeled instantly and embedded into a partner's own experience or just shared directly with the customer. So the second piece of all of this is Power Listings. And this is really about getting the content out there to the world. So our Power Listings network, which we'll talk about a little bit later, I think the really important thing to discuss here is what differentiates this network from a lot of the other presence management solutions that you see out there. And you know, nothing replaces a live demo. I mean, showing something, I could talk for 20 minutes, but just showing, changing a phone number and seeing it change on all of the directory sites is extremely powerful. So if anybody is interested in that, I'd be happy to show a demo later. But I think the real differentiator is what happens when you peel back that top layer or peel back the location manager and look at the technology behind what's going on here. Many times when you look at a presence management solution, what you'll see are a lot of manual processes behind the scenes that are manually claiming and maintaining a number of logins. Manually, if there's an update, going back through all of these and adding that photo, going back to check and make sure that the photo is live, it's still live, making sure no other data sources have overwritten what you've already done. This is a lot of work. I'd say it's nearly impossible for enterprise clients. But even for the small business, it's hard to maintain, and it's hard to guarantee to the small business what you're going to do for them. When you peel back the layer on this Power Listings product, what you'll see are technical integrations quite literally across the board. There's not a single publisher that we work with where there is a manual process. They're either all API driven or driven by feeds. And when a subscription is activated in our system, the first thing we do is use that technology to see if a listing already exists. And if it does, we'll claim it. And if it doesn't, we will add it. And from that moment on, there is an active sync with all of these publishers, which means if you do add a photo, you just add it in the dashboard, and you'll see it go live instantly in most places, maybe a couple hours in others. But that's it. The power is in the hands of the business or in the provider. There aren't teams of people that are going and checking and claiming and going through all of that work. So it is very powerful in the back end. I can sit here and talk about analytics, I can talk about category mappings, which I won't because it'll bore you, but all of that stuff. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here, and if anybody does want a demo later, I'd be happy to share. So here's a snippet of our network right now. We have a little over 100 players. This is just a piece of that. Many publishers are local to the US or to other markets, but many of them are also global players: Yelp, Bing, Facebook, Foursquare. As I said, with all of these, we have technical integrations, which really help power a very robust solution.